S's there.
So as they finally round the carousel here, they're going to pack up and pair up, as they say in wheel-to-wheel racing.
Drop off.
Sally will pull off into the pit lane here, right in front of us. Does so. You see Eric Coutil will take control of the field. He'll start to slow his roll just a little bit, keep it rolling, so Aaron Lichty can come up alongside in the white and black Miata with the orange strip at the bottom. Dave Montgomery third there. Gray Miata, DJ Alessandrini in the white Civic as Rob Manucheri leaves your frame. That's top 5. I think Rob Manucheri might be the one to watch at the start. He's got the most power. He's got the grunt in that BMW, and he's got a long straightaway. If he can capitalize and get to the front and get in the way, he's going to be in a really good spot. I think the other quick car is going to be DJ Alessandrini. He's got the most displacement of the top 4. Eric Coutil is going to be more of a balance, and the Miatas are definitely handling base. So this is going to be very interesting to see how this unfolds. Starting to
similar power to weight ratios, but such a different way of making speed for a lot of these cars. We're going to see an interesting start here, I believe, similar to some of the classes in other groups. But there's so many different mods in these and different tire choices, and they're lining up next to each other out of the keyhole. They will see green flag.
We're looking for the green flag in the Honda Tower on driver's left, coming into your frame right about here. Here we go. The first green flag of GRIDLIFE Touring Cup is in the air. Race number 1 of 5 this year, and it's a great jump for Eric Coutil. Jumps down into the lead. DJ Alessandrini trying to go with him up into the S's for the first time. Dave Montgomery says no, sir. He takes back third. Nice clean for the front 4 cars. Still side by side for Manucheri, and that's Jake Jorgenstad trying to shove it back up the inside. Side by side for 5th right now. The rest of the field's going to have to sort this out, but Eric Coutil breaking away just slightly from Aaron Lichty.
Under the Honda bridge.
Glued to the back of Lichty, and DJ Alessandrini letting him get away just a little bit. The field's starting to get a little more single file now.
See this nice view of the little bit of a jump here down into Thunder Valley. Eric Coutil still solid under the bridge here. Really tight Miata to Miata action there, followed by DJ Alessandrini. And that E36 staying right there with DJ. Much lighter car in DJ's hands, but that E36 is right there. Rob is doing well.
Just scanning the pack there in that shot. A huge move from Will Young on the start. He's almost into the top 10 in the RSX as they stream in front of us here. The EG hatch screams past us. These guys in the Miata, second and third, they're going to need to work together to keep Eric there. But front-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive, those Miatas are going to be better over the long run than the Civic, naturally, just because the Civic is only using 2 of its tires for all the work. Look at that run through turn 1. It is Aaron Lichty going to maybe have a nose on to the entry to the keyhole. Not quite there, but
Coutil makes that Civic pretty wide going into there, and nice tidy line for all of them. Nose to tail just about. You can see the disparity in power is not there. They are really even going down that long straightaway towards the start stand, and nobody's moving. Nobody's
the top
moving.
3 maybe breaking away just a little bit, though, as we're coming down into the S's. Look at the brakes on the Miata looking good as Coutil rotates into turn 4. Everybody grabbing just a little bit of curb, but still the gap remains the same between the top 3.
Unbelievable.
A little bit of breakaway from the top 3 to DJ Alessandrini and Rob Manucheri in the Civic and the BMW next in frame. Jake Jorgenstad holding on to the top 6 pretty nicely, as is JT Murray. And then we've got the more spread out back half of the field as we get into the lesser prepped cars, honestly, is really the only difference. You see Chris Tuttle and Will Young just left the frame there. Corvette versus RSX. What a battle.
Mike Taylor working his way up through the field also as he went past us in start-finish. We'll see how he does on the start of this race. Hopefully his windshield stays in place. The glue is fresh on that windshield.
Normally they have to cure for 24 hours, right?
I don't know. Hopefully he's got a little tape on that thing.
Lap number 2, and Lichty is looking racy. He is deep around the exit of the carousel, though. Coutil's going to have a great run onto the front straight. Lichty looking a little too behind the car as they come through our frame here, down and back into turn 1. We're going to flash back to the exit of turn 1. You see these guys stream through. Unfortunately, we don't have an entry to turn 1, but one of the coolest corners in motorsports. You see you go downhill, really fast left-hander, the elevation rise just there. Catches the car, and DJ Alessandrini going defensive on Rob Manucheri. The race is on for 4th, but these guys at the front still single file. Coutil with Aaron Lichty even more glued to the back of him this time, but that Civic just jumps off the corner really, really nicely. The Miatas carry the mid-corner speed, but they don't jump off the corner quite so much. Aaron Lichty fully within drafting distance of the EG hatch, which is going to poke a nice Miata-sized hole in the air as they go down into the S's.
The Civic a little bigger, a little, they both have similar rear wings, a 700 square inch limit rule on these cars. Eric's a little bit smaller, but man, nice tidy lines. Perfection down into China Beach is what's going to really be something these drivers in the lead need to focus on. That braking zone is dangerous when it's colder, but the temperature outside is definitely warmer than it was an hour ago.
You watch the rear end of Eric Coutil's car from the lead. It's moving around a lot more than it did in qualifying if you've been with us this whole time. So I think Eric's got that car dialed in just a little bit better, but it's not helping him get away from Aaron Lichty and Dave Montgomery, who's just running a really smart third place right now. Ooh, an attack for fourth place. DJ Alessandrini with Rob Manucheri around the outside, and that's some experience maybe for Manucheri, knowing where the grip is and knowing his car. Takes advantage of DJ Alessandrini, sweeps around the outside of 11, one of the fastest corners on this track.
Very fast.
And takes away the fourth spot. Now DJ's got to put his head down and put in some clear laps to keep in touch with this top 5.
How far into this thing are we here?
We're looking at, I'm refreshing timing and scoring. I haven't even looked at that yet because the racing's been good.
Who cares about laps when
we're 4.5 minutes into this race. Again, we had a 20-minute window, so there's no exact lap limit or time limit other than the framework we have to work with. So we're going to keep an eye out for just when that white flag comes through.
The data is so good. 38.8 from Coutil, 38.8 from Aaron Lichty, 38.9 from Dave Montgomery, and 39.4 from Rob Manucheri. Unreal close. And you can see those 3 cars, the leaders, slightly pulling away, but Rob is right there with them.
Yeah, and I think Rob Manucheri would be right with them if he didn't have to work through DJ Alessandrini at the start, but DJ did a good job holding fourth and held Rob up just a little bit. Montgomery losing these guys just a little bit from the third spot, but Lichty still looking racy, maybe just sizing up where his advantage is over Coutil. Again, that Civic looking really good off the corners, which makes it tough when you lose that little bit of distance to get by on the brakes, but we have seen Lichty looking good on the braking down, especially in turn 4.
The Coutil has a little bit of a home field advantage here. He lives about an hour and a half away, I believe.
Certainly, yep.
And the changes he's made in this car for this class, he's got a little bit of aero difference, a little different splitter, different front bumper, sort of for those scene points. Got the cool sport car motion bumper on there, and the hood vent to relieve some underhood temperatures, and 15 by, I believe, 9 front wheels, so more width on the front wheels. Different car than he's normally used to driving. His first day in this configuration of the car, but man, those Miatas, Dave and Aaron, are on him. This is anybody's race. 1 bobble, and it's right there. 2 bobbles, and P5 or P6 is there. It's a front straightaway battle still. JT Murray passing us start finish, and he is still there. I mean, we're only 5 seconds out.
Lichty looking closer and closer every lap. Coutil defends for the first time into the keyhole.
Oh my gosh, he's right there.
Watch the Civic jump off this corner though, just gaps him right there.
That is where that car is strong. Corner exit, that car is solid.
And that's exactly where you want the strength, because that takes away any possibility of Aaron Lichty from P2 to outbrake you down into the S's. They call this little bend they're in now turn 3, and then as soon as we change frames, they're on the brakes into turn 4. You see the nose dive. Lichty looks strong. If he was close, he could get it.
He's got a little advantage there dropping in.
He needs Coutil to get 1 bad run off of 2, and he's going to have the advantage. But there you saw the rotation from the Civic. That car's working really well. Coutil not having to defend a whole lot, and you see every time they leave the corner, the Civic just jumps ahead by a car length.
Under the Honda bridge, it is still the same race we have seen for laps now. Eric Coutil, best of the day here, 38.096, 38.2 from Aaron Lichty. So Coutil got a little bit of a best run there, 38.418 now for Dave Montgomery. We're seeing a 0.3 second spread for those 1 through 3 cars, and Rob Manucheri, a solid chase there. He's only about 6 cars back, and 5 or 6 cars behind him. We see DJ Alessandrini in his first wheel-to-wheel race.
Bunch of rotation into 11.
iRacing star, awesome. And obviously doing pretty well here in GLTC.
Absolutely.
Unreal.
And again, that was a free car donated to him less than 6 months ago. In January, he picked it up. So it's less than 4 months in his possession. He's been working on that car a lot. Look at all the track and more coming out here. Rob Manucheri running down Dave Montgomery easily. I see, not easily, but definitely closing in what I mean by that. So maybe a battle for third coming here, but it is super tight. You see Eric opens up the entry, gets down to the apex, and there's that off the corner.
He's got about 1.5 more car lengths than he did last run. We'll see if that car stays strong. We've got about 8 more minutes of hot race here. This is about a 16-minute checker or green to checker. We will see how that pans out, but the field not spreading out like you'd see in one of these 40-minute races. We won't have lap traffic unless we have a mechanical failure. This is so close. Aaron Lichty with that Miata. I mean, they do things so differently, but they do things so similarly in many respects. Managing tire temps, what do you think we're talking about as far as who's battling what here as we see them going under the Honda Bridge?
I think the advantage for the Civic, obviously I've said it a bunch of times, is the off the corner, that little bit of oomph that it has, that extra bit of torque from the B18 is helping Eric just get the gap that he needs to keep away from Aaron on the handling sections. The Miata clearly quicker, especially on the brakes down into the S's and through the S's. Dave Montgomery certainly falling from third place into the clutches of the E36 BMW Rob Manucheri. So we're going to have a good battle for first and third in our hands.
We have an in fast lap, though. Rob Manucheri with a 37.3.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. That is 0.6 faster than... nope. Eric Catillo at 37.1 now. 37.115 from Aaron Lichty. A 37.998 from Dave Montgomery. And a 37.163 are still our fastest lap. Rob Manucheri at 37.163. Yeah. 5 laps in, and he is nailing this.
Manucheri, the red BMW coming at you. He looks to the inside. He's just letting Dave know he's there, maybe rattle him just a little bit, but he's not close enough to make a move yet. That is the closest that Lichty's been at the track out point, but again, Coutil just has that corner squared up and gets the Civic off so perfectly every lap. One bobble and he's going to be in big trouble, but they're side by side for third place. Rob Manucheri goes to the left side from Dave Montgomery, just powers around the outside of him. A huge power move.
Big torque use. And
doesn't even have to outbrake him into the S's. He's clear.
He has it, and that car is obviously strong mid-race here. It's not falling off. That car is coming into its own. Currently our fastest lap at 37.163. We will see in just a moment if
Dave got him, though. Look at that. Dave Montgomery held onto it. I gave Rob the position too early.
He might have outbraked him there.
Yeah, he must have.
Coming over Madness, the light cars are probably a little stronger.
So what I have to wonder, that BMW being heavier, if it's actually takes a little more tire temp and a little more time to bring up with the bigger tires underneath it.
Yep.
That car
really, the wheel horsepower
on the 22.
He doesn't have that much more wheel horsepower. No. He's got more weight though. And those top 4, they're still right there. I can't believe the lap time separation. We're looking at currently almost identical lap times for P1, 2, and 4.
Yeah, I think the advantage from break point to apex definitely goes to Aaron Lichty, but Aaron Catillo from apex out has a new fast time.
Aaron Lichty, new lap leader, 36.808 and 36.888 for Eric Catillo.
Battle hotting up for 6-2 as they cross your screen there. That's Jake Jorgenstad and JT Murray. We'll keep an eye and see if anything happens. But we have an attack for the lead. Aaron Lichty up the inside of Eric Catillo. Side by side through the apex of the keyhole. Eric gives him plenty of space. Side by side.
Drag race.
Here is where the power of the Civic, extra bit of torque off the corner, just drives back by him. He knew if he left that corner nice and wide, he could get back by. And he's every bit as far ahead of Aaron Lichty as he has been any lap now.
But we saw the strength there on the braking for the Miata, and Aaron Lichty's experience coming into play. He's going to use all of the tools that he has at his disposal.
I think we're seeing some fall off from the Civic, the front-wheel drive car. Like we said, fastest at the start and falls off consistently. The Miata, perfectly balanced, going to use the tires the same all the way through. I think Aaron is realizing this race may have as few as 3 to 4 minutes left as the battle for third is back up, and Rob Manucheri takes it this time under the Honda Bridge.
Clean pass there under the Honda Bridge. Dan the Sedan might get close to lap. Blake Meredith put Falcons back on that car in order to preserve the dying clutch. A little bit less grip and a little bit more fun to toss.
And look at that. Once Rob got by in the BMW, he's just kind of left Dave Montgomery behind up the Thunder Valley straight. So new third place, Rob Manucheri comfortably into third in the BMW. So it's Civic, Miata, BMW, top 3. Coutil now stretching away just a little bit. I actually, like you've said, I've had the chance to drive this car here. The fastest laps of my races, although the car falls off through the middle, somehow, maybe as the fuel burns, whatever it is, the fast lap of my race was the very last one in that Civic.
Really?
So we may not see the Civic fall off consistently through, but it's definitely not the strongest car on the track right now. I think Aaron Lichty still has the upper hand.
He does have the fastest lap time still. Last laps going through, Coutil was 1/10 on top of him, but almost half a second behind their previous best. Last laps at 37.253 for Coutil, and Aaron Lichty with 37.398. current fastest lap of the session here, the first GRIDLIFE Touring Cup race, a 36.808 for Aaron Lichty.
Blake Meredith, being the gentleman that he is, pulls over, lets him go by. Dan the Sedan gets out of the way. No interruption for the lead battle as Aaron Lichty using the strength of the Miata. Now this is where he's fastest. If he can lead into the S's on any given lap, I think he'll gap away from Eric Coutil just a little bit. But Eric, again, fastest in all the right spots right now. Still haven't had to see a whole lot of defending from Eric even, as Rob Manucheri continues to pull away from Dave Montgomery, who's P4, and DJ Alessandrini holding on really well in the 5th spot in that white Civic, just leaving your frame now. Big gap back to the rest of the field, but the battle at the front.
It's
Civic.
the same battle the entire race.
Every
I can't
time.
believe it. About 1 car length separates them, probably just enough to keep that Miata cool.
Another thing to keep in mind, these guys race again at 5:30, so they race in less than an hour once again.
Yeah, 1 hour turnaround for time attack, and that is it. So they have a little bit of check-in, a little bit of prepping, and maybe some tire changes. Same gap we've seen there. Eric Coutil leading Aaron Lichty down into turn 1. The blind left-hander under the bridge.
Deja vu all over again,
We'll
as
see
they
in
say.
just a moment as they pop out into view onto the first straight up into the keyhole, same race, and they're coming up on, I believe, Chase there in the Spec Miata.
Aaron Lichty, fast lap of the race, 136.6, and he's side by side with Coutil again. Looks to the other side, tries to come around the outside. He's going
See
to
what
pin him
can
to the
happen.
inside. Eric Coutil nowhere to go, but he's going to leap off the corner still. If he can square this up.
Oh, it's so
Lichty
close.
holds side by side. They're together. They're together. If Lichty can beat him to the braking zone.
And we're going to have lap traffic coming into play, maybe down into China Beach.
This is going to be tight as they come into our frame. 3, 2, 1.
3 cars wide, probably, into China Beach.
There they are, and Lichty deep onto the brakes,
nice,
but Coutil
clean
holds onto
gentleman.
it. They're going to be side by side through 4, leave each other plenty of room.
Unreal.
Side by side up into 5. Lichty now with the advantage. He needs to close the door if he wants to win this race. This is where he's strong. Coutil jumps to the inside still. Side by side through 6. Can they keep it side by side
Unreal.
up into
A whole
Thunder
lap.
Valley under Honda Bridge? Still side by side. We're not going to know if they're side by side still for another 30.
And I'm looking cross traffic, and Control has a white flag in his hand. This is signaling.
There they
the
are.
last
Coutil
lap.
with the advantage comes over into Thunder Valley.
Half a lap
into
next
the
to each
lead.
other. Chasing the beautiful yellow S2000. That's what Kevin. Who's driving that one? Who's driving that one?
That's Dr. Kevin Buss.
Yep. T3 class car, basically a stock S2000.
Looking for potentially the white flag this time by.
I see it. I see
These
it in
guys
his
are
hand.
glued together. Coutil pounds the curb on the inside, and it is white flag in the air. Last lap for race 1 of the GRIDLIFE Touring Cup. Coutil leads it on to the final lap. Sweeping out of turn 1. This is where Lichty attacked last time. If he can get alongside again, he's already there.
is.
Look at this.
He is coming into the keyhole. Aaron Lichty has
Not
about.
letting Eric even track
He's
left.
about halfway there, halfway across Eric's door, maybe 2/3, just
Deep on
about
the brakes.
parallel into
Nose
our
ahead.
view. He is in the lead. Let's see how Eric's car does. Using its strength, they are still door to door
gonna
down the back
see-
straightaway.
We're going to see the same thing again, but Lichty is further alongside again. This is where Eric's car is fast down the straight, but Lichty's car is good on the brakes. If
Under the starter stand, these cars are door to door. I cannot believe this.
Lichty deep into the brakes, but Coutil's even deeper. These guys are side by side, even closer this time. Up onto the curb for the Civic. Lichty into the inside line for 5.
The cleanest. This is clean. Very nicely done by both of these drivers. They are door to door now for about a half a lap, entering the S's under the Honda Bridge, door to door again, just like the last lap. This will determine
Yes.
who wins. White flag still out.
So far,
Checkered
this has been a
flag
repeat.
coming.
And we know that Coutil won the battle last time, but who will win the war? They're still side by side into Thunder Valley this time, but Coutil pulls back ahead. All he has to do is stay in front to take the win. Lichty with 2 more chances, turn 11. One of those chances is
Coutil's
gone
got
now,
it
but a
sideways.
side. Oh, and I think Lichty's going to look up the inside.
Entering the carousel in just a moment. Here
He
we
doesn't
are.
make it, but he's on the bumper. There he is. Coutil is going to hold on for the win if he doesn't miss this shift up onto the front straight, and it's Eric Coutil, car number 82, takes the win on the
it's so
inaugural
close.
GRIDLIFE
He's
Cup
on
race.
the bumper. Eric Coutil
close.
just there. Last lap time of a 36.823 and a 36.681. Last lap was faster for Aaron Lichty.
And y'all, the gap.
Nope, I'm reading it wrong. 39 versus 39. Last lap was just a 10th faster for Lichty. He almost had it. So
0.2 of a
close.
second gap at the line between Eric Coutil and Aaron Lichty. Rob Manucheri, great race, set his fast lap of the race right at the very
Last
end.
lap, 37.098.
For third. I think that
Really
BMW is going to be a
strong.
factor in future races.
Really strong.
Dave Montgomery holding down 4th. DJ Alessandrini, first race ever, 5th place in this kind of field. That's awesome. Jake Jorgenstad, are you out of breath? You done?
Oh, I can't even think. This is crazy.
Car's still taking the checker. We just saw Emil Tab. That's 8th place, just crossing now. So the top 8 have finished. Look at this battle. Mike Taylor gets around Chris Tuttle just at the last minute to take 9th.
Squirrel going by. His last lap, a 43.7, his best of 40.58. A nice showing for Mike Taylor, coming across strong at the end of a long, grueling day after a trek from Atlanta up here for the first ever GLTC race.
And these guys coming into your frame now, they had a good, close race the entire time. We just couldn't take a breath to look at it. That's Bill Griffin crossing into the 11th spot. Bookbinder, and then Ferenczi, and then Boysen, and then Yarbrough and Heikkila. All there together.
The time spread so close. After 10 laps, Bill Griffin with a 42.9 and Trevor Zolt, co-driving. Zolt Ferenczi driving a 42.847 right there. Less than a tenth of a second separating them. Nathan Bookbinder chasing them with a 44.343. Jeremy Boysen with a 43.4. Nice tight battle for the entire race there. This is what it's for, man.
I got to pause and say, you get the shakes after a good run, right?
This is
a good race. If they cut up to us here, you might be able to see. I am going. Look at this.
Oh man,
I'm so excited.
I can't even hang on to this thing. My hand is so wet. These poor microphones are going to short out. We're all going to get electrocuted. I can't believe the battle. Congratulations to our top 3 here. What a show they put on, man. What a show. Eric Catil squeaking the win out in front of Aaron Lichty. And the winning formula, strong showing here.
And just a reminder, we do this 5 times this weekend. That was 1/5 of the action for GLTC. And these guys are going to learn each other more every single race. They're going to figure out where the advantages are. A monster. That's all you.
This is silly. Look at my microphone. It's freaking shaking. It's unbelievable showing. Really, really proud of my friends over here in GLTC. Perfectly clean race. I didn't see a wheel off.
Nope.
I mean, they did it. They did it.
So again, if you enjoyed that or you just missed it and you can't stand us talking about how awesome it was, these guys race again at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time.
We got an hour to recoup.
They have 45 minutes to turn these cars around and race once again.
I know where I'll be.
So they start race 2 based on finishing order of race 1?
I guess I kind of got to figure that out, don't I? Yes, that's what they're going to do.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
So basically, that's where qualifying was too.
Sure. I got to think car to watch for race 2 is Rob Manucheri in the BMW.
We saw it strong showing the entire race.
And
37 on his
fastest
last lap.
right at the last 2 laps there side by side.
And look at that, a 37.0 versus a 36.8. Fastest lap of the race, a 36.6. In the last lap, he was less than 4/10 off of the fastest of the race. Rob Manucheri is going to have a strong showing. If he can stretch those laps the entire time, or be that strong at the end, it's going to be. I mean, how many cars wide can you go at Mid-Ohio?
All of them.
I mean, looks like at least 4. Let's see what we can do.
I love it.
I'm really, really excited to do Impound tonight. That was some clean racing.